I didn't start it with this in mind necessarily, but it sort of became this. So the business cycle starts with creating new products that work. Obviously that's a given, but when we started in the infomercial business, that really wasn't an assumption. It was you create products and shows that can sell. But John and I made the decision that we wanted to have a company that would last for a long time and create some real value. So we wanted the products to work so that people might come back and buy something again. So that was the original premise. And I think we've stayed to that very well. We test everything that we do, which leads us to the next part of the cycle. And that is show real proof that they work. Now, I say your results, that goes for me too. I did not want to spend a couple weeks in my basement learning how to dance. I promise. Truth, like every day, I would be texting on my phone, Michael, we have got to find a better way to announce this product. I can't stand it. It's not my thing. And he's like, no, come on, it gets better. And da-da-da. He's telling me, he's sharing with me how he managed to get there. And so I'm like, okay. So finally sort of put the moves together, and you guys have been very kind. You're posting nice videos. I can't even watch myself. Ridiculous. But look, you show real proof that the products work, and that's where your results matter. This is also linking to the vital behaviors, but it's my business model too. It's the way I operate. Your proof is such an important step in the overall piece of this. And it doesn't have to be just your one transition. Life goes up and down, right? I mean, you lose weight, look, I got in great shape with Power 90 when we first started it. And then it was 3 or 4 years later, I got in better shape with P90X, but I was like, well, this is kind of weird because I got in such good shape with Power 90. What happened between those two things? It was a pizza party. I couldn't resist it. But no, life happens, and that part of that vulnerability and that truth is part of what we do. When we say everyone matters, it includes us. And we don't have to be perfect, we just need to be honest. And so when we talk about everyone matters, and we talk about showing your results, you share them, and that attracts people. And that's proof, and that's what they can rely on so that they can believe that the whole thing makes sense, the whole ecosystem is connected. Now, next part of the job, compel people to start. It started by creating infomercials, then it started with having you do amazing, in here, whatever, we got 10,000 people or something, but out there, 238,000 or close to 240,000 coaches who are compelling people to start. But an important part of that is not just to get them to the starting line, it's to retain them long enough to see results. In fact, it's interesting. We've had some celebrities come in and say, oh, I want to be a coach. Let me use my influence as a celebrity, and I'll show proof that I've used the results. But it doesn't work. There's another step to this business that requires getting down on the ground and talking to people and retaining them, connecting with them, holding them accountable to their goals to get them to see results. Infomercials just tell the story. The reason that you are a better aspect of this business model of helping people achieve their goals is because you can retain them so that they can see results. And once you do that, you're on that next step of the journey to success. Then the third step, give people an incentive to share their results and attract others. We got the t-shirt, we got the Beachbody challenge, and we have coaching. It's funny. It's so frustrating. I'll share a personal story with you, but just to keep it in here. Last night, I'm doing photos of people, and it's awesome, and people tell me their stories and everything, and people are saying, I lost 65 pounds. I'm like, it's all because of you. I'm like, no, it's not. It's because you did the work. I'm like, oh, well, I'm so proud. Thank you so much. I'm like, and did you submit your results to the Beachbody challenge? And she's like, I should do that. And I'm like, what? We don't do this for us, we do it for the business model, but this concept of giving away $500 every single day to somebody to recognize their results and showcasing these people every day all over the place and recognizing that is so that the whole ecosystem, that we're all helping each other. We want to share your results. You don't wait just till the end. You do it when you have that first, even if it's just a 3-day refresh, submit them, man. We want a torrent. We want a virtual avalanche of results. So you get the free t-shirt, and then you show that, hey, I got the free t-shirt. You post that, it gives you stuff to talk about. And of course, coaching. Now look, I think that what I've heard when I speak to coaches, that one of the great steps in this process is somebody gets their results and you say, hey, can I post your results on my page? Or would you post your results on my page? And then they post them up there, and then people say, oh, great job, you're awesome, that's fantastic. Oh, you're smiling in both shots, or whatever. You got tan, your tattoo switched sides. Please, really? Oh my God, take a second, just take a beat. So nice. But what happens is you see all these comments, and then you as a coach get a chance to say, you're already coaching. That right there, you've got people who are already compelled and are interested in what we're doing here. Just so happens you happen to post that on my page or whatever, so now I'm going to pick them up as clients, but you could have, sorry. But the point is, it's an incentive to share their results, and then they can attract more people. And then what happens? They've got the t-shirt, or they enter the challenge, or they become a coach. One comment about that. I know that most people that you interact with will say, you know, I'd rather become a coach after I get my transformation. I think that's the normal, the logical thing. I have to be honest with you, it's not the way I would do it if I were a prospect. And I want you to feel free to recommend this to your prospects. I'm not trying to just load in coaches, but I do think that a very compelling part of the process is the struggle at the beginning. And when people are vulnerable, when they share the challenges and the difficulties of going through that process, they actually will attract people to them. They'll attract support, and they can build their challenge group, or even their start day as a new coach. I just signed up to be a coach. I don't really know what it means. I'm not a fitness expert, I'm not a nutrition expert, but I'd love to have people join me in my challenge group. We're going to do 21-day fix, we're going to do PIO, we're going to do T25, whatever. And it's a nice opportunity. That kickoff is a nice opportunity to start coaching, particularly somebody who wants to create their own financial independence. So I recommend saying to people who pick up a challenge pack, maybe don't squander that. But you want people to do what's right for them, what's comfortable. So then after that happens, we've created a new product that works, you show real proof they work, you compel people to start, retain them long enough to see results, and then you give the people incentive to share their results, the whole thing repeats. Now, we've had coaches who have been with us for years, and I've seen them go through sort of stages of, you know, that sort of steep ramp up. I want to be an elite coach, I want to be at the top, I want to be an elite 10, or whatever. And like, I know it gets boring. Like there's something about it that's like, well, what do I do? I'm rich now, I've got an awesome pool, I've got 5 cars, and I've got all these people, and I'm getting checks, I check my bank account, there's more money there, what do I do? You go right back to here. This is where it is. And I'm saying that because this is what I do. This is what I do every single day. I look back at this, how many more people can we reach? I look, what products can we create that are going to reach more people, that are going to reinvigorate this thing? And all right, I didn't tell the first group I did this, but let me tell you about some of the products coming up next year. Just kidding, I'm not doing it. You tried to get me to do it, you tricksters. Y'all got me leaning in. But no, they're so good. See, here's the thing. I live my life kind of a year in advance. Like, I literally know what's going to come out this time next year. Like, so we're like, whoa, and it's coming out. Size is coming out. I'm like, God, that is so last year. Hey, done there. Okay. So last time you're going to see it. You're tired. No. But there is some stuff coming next year that is going to, this is you, next year, 4 times. It's so good. Oh man, it's so good. Like literally, like I know what times of the year, I know when your head is gonna explode. I'm like your psychic friend, just so you know. And it is really exciting. So anyway, so that's my job. My job is I work with these fitness and nutrition experts. It's the FNE department. Funny. And we come up with things, and we talk to the trainers, and we talk about what their new ideas are, and we see what you would like and what you're doing, and we're like, ooh, I see what you like over there, and then we're creating it. It's gonna be so good. And then you get in there, you show the product works, and the cycle repeats. And until we've reached everybody, and we're not even close, this company is a tiny, teeny little speck in a petri dish based on how much opportunity there is for us. This is the business model. I hope I remember, I'm gonna post this on Facebook, so if you wanna pick it up there or share it with your teams or whatever, but this is how the thing works. And it's that simple, and you can see that our vital behaviors are right in there, right? Be the proof the product works. Invite, invite, invite. The reason we have 3 invites in there is we want every invitation to be like 3. Yeah! Like, you go for it. You want to be that excited about it. And what I'm talking about there is intensity. Again, I'm talking about the next 12 months. What I want for you, it's the same thing I said to Jeff opening ceremony backstage. I said, dude, our job is not to put on a great show. Our job is not to impress everybody with that we can do this event. Our job is to help you guys achieve your goals. If you want to create some wealth, some independence, put your kids through school, figure out a way to stay at home with your kids and spend more time with the family, or travel the world, or whatever it is, you're going to have to find a way to find your inner intensity. And you're going to have to find a way to do it in everything that you touch around this business. This has to be looked at like a profession. You can't look at it like that side thing that I do. Unless it is a side thing that you do, and then you can do it however you want. But if you want to be one of those elite, if you want to be on those trips, if you want to be getting those checks and those bonuses, because by the way, there is nothing wrong with creating massive wealth inside a business that is costing society trillions of dollars of wasted money and productivity. But you have to go about it with intensity. Your workouts need to have intensity. Your approach to nutrition, when you're in the middle of a program, if you do the 3-day refresh, if you do the ultimate reset, man, do it all the way. You got to compel people to start with intensity. Your belief that these products work is what's going to excite them. That enthusiasm that they see, we talked about it in the opening. We talked about these coaches that they didn't even know. So they're putting it on their Facebook pages or talking to people about it. They don't even know that it's actually 3 layers deeper that people are being attracted to their businesses. But it's the intensity, it's repetition, it's the fact that they believe that this stuff works because they live it. That's the way you've got to go about this. You have to find your inner intensity. And then you got to keep people accountable to their goals. Remember how I said you're actually a better business model for solving the trend of obesity and helping people achieve their goals than the infomercials? That's because you can keep them accountable to their goals. But you have to do that with intensity. That is the work, capital W. If you want this to be a profession for you that really pays off. And then, like the secret vital behavior that we don't talk about, it's the silent vital behavior, I guess, but it's recognition. And like, I'm learning this more this year than at any time in my career. Like, I've got to do it better. I've got to do a better job of recognizing. And by the way, this is an opportunity for me to do that. How impressive were those celebrity trainers this morning? Outrageous. Like, I think we take for granted what they do, but I mean, they're posing for pictures for hours with people. Their hair's getting pulled, people are pulling jewelry off them, and you know, and that it can be grueling. And they do that, you know, gladly, and they love it, and they love Summit, and then they wake up at 4 a.m. to prep for a shoot and carry, you know, a group of 20,000 people through this workout. And Sean's losing his voice, and they're exhausted, and it's just like it's amazing the kind of people that we have, and that's the kind of recognition I need to do more of, and it's what you need to do. It's a vital behavior that I see Wednesday night and Thursday and Friday. I can see the people who are on it because they're recognizing people who step up in rank, people who have achieved Success Club, the people who maybe if they just signed a coach, they recognize it. In fact, the earlier you are in the business, you want to teach this to your teams. The earlier you are in the business, you want to recognize that every little thing. You know, Valerie took her fiber sweep today. Awesome, Valerie. You know, you recognize as much as you can when you're just looking for stuff to recognize. And then Valerie's like, hey, nobody recognized me, particularly not for taking fiber. I want to be a coach. So you do that recognition, you post it on Facebook, you tag people, and then all of a sudden they start to be like, I want to be a part of what that is. I want to be a part of what that ecosystem's about. But you got to approach it with intensity. Now, the other vital behavior that I didn't mention yet, but it's also the way I want you and your teams to approach this business, is with personal development, I want you to be curious. I want you to be curious about how to expand your business, and I don't want you to be salespeople. Now, there's a couple of layers to this, and the reason I'm bringing this up under the context of vital behaviors, you know, we had personal development, and I'm actually reading a book right now that I would strongly recommend. It's called A Curious Mind by Brian Grazer. You know that producer? He did like Apollo 13. A Secret to a Bigger Life. A Curious Mind, A Secret to a Bigger Life. Let me give you a couple quotes to add context to this. Curiosity will conquer fear even more than bravery. I think that's a great quote. And curiosity is what creates empathy. To care about someone, you must wonder about them. The reason that I raise curiosity and be curious as an important aspect of what I want you to do for the next 12 months is, too often I see selling. Now remember, this is our personal business meeting here, so this is my chance to just tweak things a little bit that I see. And I see people posting, and it makes perfect sense when we have a special, you know, we do the blowout in July or June, and then we do another blowout around November. That's great, you want to get those specials out there. But what's way more important is that you're talking to people. You're being curious. You're having the courage to be curious about them. The more curious you are, the more helpful you can be to them. The most effective salesmen I've ever met are my father and my uncle. You might have met out there, water boy guys, right? And I apologize on behalf of my uncle, he can be kind of out there. But he's awesome. But these guys are unbelievable salespeople, and they're unbelievable salespeople because they are curious. I would watch these guys in action, and they would talk and ask questions, and I'd be like, oh, you know, that conversation's over. And my dad, he would keep asking questions, and it wasn't just like probing, trying to get at his goal. He was really curious about what was going on for people. But there was another aspect to this which is so important and might be the most innovative thing that I'm going to say today that I hope you take with you. You have to be curious about the product catalog that you represent. So we did this massive launch of products this week, right? So you've got the Shakeology Boosts, Beachbody Performance line, you got Size, like you've got so much to absorb, plus everything going on with Shakeology and all the flavors. Can you name all the flavors like that? Do you know what is in the Ultimate Reset? Do you know what's in the 3-day refresh? Which one can you work out in? Which one can you not, should you not work out if you want the best results? My point is, it's one thing to be curious this way with your prospects, but if you're curious and you get questions and people want information, you have got to have a bank of curiosity back here that can back it up, right? And that's going to make you a better coach. Now, I'm not asking you to be a fitness expert or a nutrition expert, but the more you know about these products, the more you know about Beachbody On Demand, how it works, how long is the membership, what is the price, what's available, what do you have to buy in order for it to be available, the more you know about that, man, people are going to believe you. They're going to have belief that you are a true coach. Capital C. You've got to be curious, though. That's the work. You've got to understand. If somebody says to you, well, you know, look, Mom, my energy's fine, I have my coffee and everything, but I'm really not a good workout in the morning person. Like, are you going to know? Do I recommend Focus Energy? Do I recommend Beachbody Performance Energize? Obviously, it's Beachbody Performance Energize. But what if they try it one time and they say, yeah, my fingers got all tingly, and that didn't feel right? Are you going to know that that is actually a signal that this stuff is circulating through your body? That that actually is a good thing. That's the signal. It's go time, man. Are you going to be curious enough so that when you're curious about that prospect, you can answer a question like, oh, this is the product for you. Oh, you got a bad knee? You got a tough shoulder? Do you know about this program, PIO? Like, does this stuff automatically come to your mind? And I apologize, unlike any other network marketing company out there, there is so much to know and to understand, but we are trying to solve a real problem. Unlike every other, well, I won't say every other, unlike most MLMs, we are trying to solve an issue here. An issue of wellness, an issue of self-esteem, a trend of obesity, which means we have to step up higher. Nobody's been able to do this. You don't think they haven't wanted to stop a trend of obesity for decades? The Center for Disease Control, you know, companies, insurance companies, costing them tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Everybody wants to solve this. This is like, we're sitting on a mountain of gold right here. But to get to it, we got to dig. We got to dig for information in terms of what Beachbody represents, what we have, what we offer, and we got to dig for information in terms of what the goals are of the person, what their challenges are, what have you failed at before. Be curious. That's what you're going to do for the next 12 months, and you will be so successful as a coach, quasi-salesman, right? Let me tell you who inspires me the most about curiosity. Like, I watched this play out for me. My 7-year-old son, Dan. He's a first grader, and I got a report from his teacher that Danny is like one of the most curious kids she's ever seen. And now look, most teachers, bosses, parents, the last thing you want is a curious kid. It's like, oh, come on already. Gluten-free is just better, just eat it. I don't know. It says GF, just eat that thing. But you know what? Curiosity is like this signal of intellect, and it's a signal of caring about the information in the world around them. And on one hand, it's dangerous. On the other hand, it's incredibly valuable. The more curious we are, the more questions we ask of our government and society, the better things we'll get. Well, here's this kid, this 7-year-old, and they're teaching him about marine life, and they're talking about jellyfish. And he's looking at this